Welcome everybody to another video. I know this is a little bit different and sorry for the fan, and I don't know if it's gonna affect the mic too much, but I am back. Why? Because it's quarantine time. Guess what, guys? Quarantine time. Hopefully no other noise in the background really affects anything. Anyways, this is a different type of video that I honestly never thought I'd ever do, to be quite honest with you, because I have a little thing against reaction videos, simply because I just don't think people put in the same amount of effort in those videos than in just like vloggers or skits or other things like that. Because oftentimes I would see shut up, these dogs, fam. Oftentimes I would just see people react to random stuff that they can't really put enough insight into or can't even relate to, and they would just give no information to the viewers, and that's what I kind of want to see. I want people to see my opinions on things and whatnot. This video in particular, now I did get inspired by PewDiePie. He did react to some of this channel's kind of videos, and this channel is Jubilee, which is I'm also quite iffy about, because although they have really interesting topics, some of the questions they ask, the people they interview, and just the whole setup, sometimes it's just a very small demographic and whatnot, and very few questions. But nevertheless, this topic, do all multiracial people think the same? What do you think? I'm multiracial. Yes, I am. I'm half Filipino, half Trinidadian, which are they're like polar opposites of the world, which is crazy, you know. I think I could give some insight into this. Let's get right into it.
Surface level. I'm wearing one of the shirts. It's literally the most comfortable thing in the world.
A
You
nice
have to go
ad,
to
guys,
humidinla.com.
I do use the N-word, but I only say it when I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't.
Dude, what was that? What was that? You see the look that this guy gave?
Time I'm like, I don't. When I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time.
This guy's hilarious. What the heck?
Time I'm like, I don't look black, so when it comes out of my mouth, they're like, whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
People think I'm hot because I'm mixed race.
People think I'm hot because I'm mixed race. You want to get my opinion on this? Anyone who says yes, they're probably right, but I'm like the only exception. I mean, hold up. I've not been on this earth for a very long time, so I probably have more time, and maybe someone will see something in me because I am mixed race. But as of right now, this is what I look like in high school.
Look at this dude.
It's not a good look. I think I'm starting to do better, but I would have to disagree on this one. I think it's a good conversation starter. Something that is a little bit interesting, but maybe it's because my personality is extremely boring. I have a very boring personality. People simply just lose interest in me very quickly. I mean, I don't blame them. I feel loved. Let's continue. I think most people are gonna say yes though. Yeah, of course. Same thing with the
As a
Instagram poll.
mixed black person, a lot of people are like, oh my god, like you're like light skinned, you look so nice. Like you don't look like all the other ghetto girls.
I swear she's lighter than me, bro. I mean, in the wintertime I get fairly light, but I'm in the Philippines right now. The sun is hitting me hard. I'm a little bit on the darker side right now. Bro, she's lighter than me. That's crazy.
Girls, and I'm like,
Oh, exactly.
what is that supposed to mean? That's my aunt. Like,
Exactly.
You don't look like the other ghetto girls.
What do you mean? Don't I look like every other ghetto girl? Come on.
I don't see why you would want to achieve a goal where you look like a ghetto girl. Why?
Why?
To each his own though. So
On first dates, most of the time people would be like, oh, no wonder you're so
first dates. I wish I had a first date.
attractive, or like, no wonder you're so gorgeous. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't love that reaction.
That sounds incredibly privileged. I would give anything for anyone to at least say, wow, you're very gorgeous. Wow, you're so attractive. He should feel good about himself. I should too, but no one has told me otherwise. But this is becoming a very depressing video.
I've always found like it's like just an awkward thing to bring up in conversation, because there's like all the memes where like people are like, oh, did you know like I'm mixed or whatever, and it's like bringing it up in like the natural flow of conversation is always kind of weird.
I need to see these memes.
Have you not seen like the logic memes where he's like, oh, I'm biracial, and it's like, you haven't seen
No!
I'm allowed to say racial slurs as long as I'm part of that identity.
I'm allowed to use racial slurs as long as I'm part of that identity. No. You shouldn't. I don't think you should. Have I? Look, man, we all had our own past. Hold on. I don't think you should. To be quite honest, I don't really want to promote a lot of negative things that come out of my mouth. Oh, I should probably. I don't want to say a lot of negative things in my mouth, and it's just not in my daily conversation anyways, and I don't interact with people who use that kind of conversation. I just wouldn't. Maybe these people would. I think where it mostly applies to, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, it most likely would be the N-word, simply because it's such a common word that more and more people are using. Let's be honest, like people who aren't even black are using it, and some people don't even get fazed by it anymore. So some people might be, lenient to say, oh, it's okay to use it, even though they're only half. So, who knows? That's them, not me. I don't use it. There you go. Now you know more about me.
3, 2, 1, go.
Me personally, I
Just check I'm just pointing something out, okay? This is not me being like skeptical or anything. Just look at the demographic of people who have went to the agree side. They all have one thing in common. They're all half black. And that's what I'm saying, is because the N-word is such a common thing that people use. People would be more lenient to them who are half black to be able to say it. That's just my take on it, guys.
do not say the N-word. I just don't. It just doesn't flow out right. But like for my Asian side, obviously I can call my like fellow girlies cheeks and stuff, but like.
Now, I'm really mad!
I didn't say it, she did. She did. She calls her Asian family chimichangas. I've never used the C word, by the way, but she does. You get it, not me. Okay?
Like obviously if someone else said that, you get the fist.
I agree.
Fist.
I do use
You
the
get the fist,
N-word,
guys.
but I only say it when I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't look black, so when it comes out of my mouth, they're like, whoa.
I try my best to only use the N-word around like my black friends, just because it creates this like weird air when I'm with like white people. It's a slippery slope that I don't like to go down.
Probably makes them really uncomfortable.
And actually, like, more than you think, it's not even uncomfortable. A lot of them think it's really cool, and then
Some people think it's really bad. Is that a thing? Do people really think that it's cool to say the N-word?
Dude, you're half black and you're saying the N-word. You're so cool. I want to be just like you.
I don't know. That's kind of weird. That's kind of the world we live in, where it's like saying the N-word is cool. I've never seen it that way.
That was me with my Asian friends. And
Yeah.
It's like a lot of Asian people like to go into black culture sometimes.
Yes.
I did get.
That is true. I've seen things. I've heard things. I can agree with this one.
Personally, I don't feel comfortable using any slurs. If I haven't heard those slurs towards me, then maybe I am not in a position to reclaim them.
Yeah, that's kind of the mentality I have. It's not in my conversation. Why would I use them? It's just, I would feel so out of place if I did. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with her.
How you pass is more important than your actual race.
How I pass, it's like how I look and how I act, I guess, is more important than what I am biologically. I would say people probably value it more, but to me, I think it shouldn't be as important, because from first-hand experience, even though I am half Filipino, half Trinidadian, people would often see me, or I would pass by as Indian. Honestly, I don't blame them, but it would bother me a lot, because I'm not, and I would always correct people like, no, I'm not Indian. I just didn't want to be associated with a whole entire culture that I just knew nothing about. But at the same time, even though I'm biologically Filipino and Trinidadian, which I can't pass by as any of them, by the way, at the end of the day, I would just say I'm Canadian. Maybe to others, I think as society as a whole, I think people value that more, whether or not it's important, and as an individual, that's up to you to decide, but it shouldn't be important.
Go.
50-50, okay.
In America, today,
In America,
walking down the
today?
street, it matters what you look like. People are gonna judge you.
I can agree to that. Yeah, he's not wrong. But then again, that's the first thing that's your first sense when you're meeting someone at all. You're obviously gonna see them first before you even touch, smell, taste.
What?
Them do anything. I can't really blame someone for doing that, but at the same time, I don't think it's important. It shouldn't be important.
Based on the race that they perceive you to be.
But he's saying
when I walk down
it's
the street,
invalued
people
in
aren't going to
society.
look at me the same way as they look at someone who's perceived as black. And so I just want to like really acknowledge the reality of that.
I wouldn't disagree with you at all, but at the same time, I think the most important thing is just how you grew up. Someone that has a black parent that doesn't appear black, they were still raised by a black person. They still like everything that their parents' experience is passed down to them, whether it's through story or just through actions.
I'm actually gonna move over.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I have both sides. When that passes down, I wouldn't identify as either one. But at the end of the day, even though those values pass down, the environment where I was bred, born, and raised in is not Filipino or Trinidadian. I speak English, and I do a lot of Canadian things, I guess. Not that much, but I do.
Over to this line, which is, I guess, more of a middle line, just because I can't do that, then I'm here. Never mind. So I'm on somewhat agree because I'm an actor, and when I go into casting calls, it only matters what I look like, and it only matters what race they think I am, which is a lot of times white, but sometimes I'll get called in for things that are not my ethnicity, and that's because of my career. That's what's important with that.
But that's like a very individual thing for him. That's his job, and obviously he's gonna have things like that. Anyways, next question.
I've tried to hide some of my racial identity. Agree?
No, I haven't. I haven't tried to hide myself at all. I've been very open with my racial identity because people would often mistake me as Indian. So I always have to correct them every time. I've always been fairly proud of it, but I think the environment that I was in Canada is very multicultural anyways. I've met so many different people of color, white, black, brown, all races really at a very young age, so I never thought I had to pick one and hide as one.
2, 1, go.
Oh, split.
Even throughout high school, I just pretended I was white completely. And there was a time when my dad picked me up from school. It was a whole thing, and people were saying like, oh, your dad's a terrorist. Or they'd ask me about it, they'd make bomb jokes, and it hurt to hear people saying stuff like that about my dad.
A similar thing happened to me, like when I was in elementary school. My dad came and dropped me off at school, and he's like a dark-skinned black man, and he's from the hood on top of that, so like he has a certain like aura to him, and a lot of people look at me like, that's your dad? And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. And they're like, he looks so scary. And I'm like, why does he look scary to you? Why should he look scary to you? And like the only thing that's keeping me away from this strongly disagree is because when I was younger, I just did not accept the black part of myself.
Not that my dad was from the hood, just the way he looks. People would say he was very scary, but that has nothing to do with anything. He just has a very angry face all the time. That's just his normal face.
And now I do.
I just want to say I'm really sorry, like, to both of you that you felt like you've been put in positions to feel like that. That's just like such a terrible thing to tell someone. No, you can't be every part of who you are. I've never tried to hide any part of me. That's always been like the biggest thing for me. Growing up, like, I was always proud to be white and I was always proud to be black. That's just how I was raised, and that's always how I was, and I just wanted to be me. So that's what I did.
See, the thing is, like, when it comes to multiracial people, like, you know the memes of the light skins, alright? You know what everybody says. They're like the ideal. Hold up, okay? Stop. I know what you're thinking. I'm racist. I'm not racist, okay? You've seen the memes too. Don't put me under the bus, alright? Obviously, what I'm saying is that for him, I think it's an attracting feature. So why would he hide that? Everybody you'd probably go very much higher in the social level because, hey guys, look at me, I'm half black, half white. So yeah, I can clearly see why he wouldn't hide it.
The reason I'm on this line is because Western beauty standards suck. They really, really got to me.
You should see Eastern beauty standards, okay. I think now they've kind of gotten out of it, but like this, was not okay. Not okay. Not good. You have this. You're not cool enough to be like this.
Be really picky about how I would do my hair and how I would part my hair. And then when I would post YouTube videos or Instagram posts, I would color correct everything to be really blue so that I didn't look yellow. And it was just like I didn't want to post a photo of me outside because I thought my eyes looked too Asian, made me hate myself and my appearance. Now I feel much more accepting of being mixed and being everything that I am.
I never experienced that. I never really thought of, hey, maybe my eyes are looking too Asian because I'm in the sun, or let me part my hair a certain way because holy, that way I could fit into society. Again, the environment I probably in was again different than hers, so maybe she felt like she needed to do that. I just never. Pretty fortunate to be raised in Canada, I'm not gonna lie. So
I agree. Like when I was younger, I used to want to be lighter. I used to get made fun of. I would always get the question, are you adopted? You're not Asian. And it just made me feel so bad about myself that I just was so confused because I didn't fit in any single pocket of anybody in any friend groups. I couldn't hang out with the Chinese kids.
I can kind of agree to this one, being half of something, of two things. Obviously, I am associated with both of them, but I never really fully belong in both of them. And I will, especially like now that I'm here, the language barrier is a big thing. That's why I sometimes feel really out of place. It's kind of my ignorance though. I should have learned the language. But in Trinidad, even though they speak English, sometimes they do things differently. And even then they have a different accent. And sometimes I also feel out of place there. But they've been really accepting, and Canada's also been really accepting, so I never really faced that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can kind of see that.
It's because they're like, you don't look Chinese. I don't hang out with the black kids because I don't sound black. And they say I'm whitewashed. So my whole entire life, I've literally battled with them, like, what the hell am I?
I've used my races to my advantage. 3, 2, 1, go.
No. I don't think I have. Like, what does that mean to my advantage? No, I can't really think of anything that I've used it to my advantage. I've used it as a conversation starter, but nothing else other than that. I don't know how else you could. I don't know. I'm interested. See, maybe?
So I feel like I just have to say that when writing college essays, every single one of my essays was about being half Iranian and half white. Like when I was applying for scholarships, that's what I would talk about because it was something that I really felt passionate about.
Does that work? Does that give me a higher chance of getting a scholarship? Because like I would use that to my advantage, then I'll be on the agree side.
But also that something that I knew would catch people's interest. And I think I don't feel guilty about using that because I think it's a double-edged sword and there's lots of repercussions for being mixed race too.
Like I haven't really abused my power like that. Like sure that is a way like that, but like I haven't done anything else but
I guess I have a power, guys, I can abuse. If you're not mixed, come on. I'm joking. I'm being sarcastic. Guys, you're supposed to laugh. Laugh. Laugh right now. You're not laughing. I want to see it in the comments. Ha ha ha. Laugh right now.
besides that on like my college apps.
So I don't know if I can do this, but maybe I'm gonna like straddle these two. You can't do that. Okay, then I'll like daintily pose over here. But like my grandma was Jewish, and I did go on Birthright, which is a free trip for people of Jewish descent. And even though I don't like identify a lot with the Jewish religion, I did get a free trip to Israel out of being part Jewish. So I guess that's like kind of something to my advantage. But I really loved my time there.
I don't know if that would be an advantage. Cause like, maybe it is. I don't know.
Hey,
got a
free
lot
trip.
out of it. Yeah.
Free trip.
Yeah, but you know.
I've like gotten like jobs for being half Asian, for like I worked at mostly predominantly Asian businesses, and as soon as I say I speak fluent Cantonese, I got the job.
Okay, so this is not because of her race. If you speak fluent Cantonese and a predominantly Asian job where that skill is required, obviously you're gonna get hired, especially if she knows both English and Cantonese, which is a highly advantageous skill. But anyone can learn Cantonese. I wouldn't say that she could use that as a reason why she got an advantage. It's a skill set, nothing to do with her race.
It's like a skill.
Yeah,
I know.
Like you can be proud of it. It's a skill
I
that you
love
have.
it. No, trust me, but it does get me job opportunities better than other people, but they would hire me because I'm half Asian and like I speak the language.
Exactly, because you speak the language. That's exactly why.
Okay, I moved because I was thinking more about the question. When I first heard the question, I was thinking like, do I have any kind of advantage? And then I was thinking about how like being part white does give me some privilege and like some advantages, but I don't think I've used that for like scholarships or any of that. And I try to really stay conscious when I'm in like an Asian space to not take up too much of the space because of my whiteness, you know?
Isn't that like not a thing anymore? Like more universities and stuff like that are hiring more Asian people because of the stereotypes that Asians are all smart and whatnot. Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear that's a thing. I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
I guess I've always been kind of cautious about that.
The issue of racism can be solved by interracial love. 3, 2, 1.
No, I can't. No. Race is such a diverse thing. Just because you marry one person of a different race doesn't mean you cannot be racist to another race. Just because I marry a black person doesn't mean I can't be racist to Asian people. You know what I'm saying? So no, obviously no. But it could be in some cases. But in terms of like as a whole broad question, it would not solve racism. No. There's always going to be something, like a slight color difference, where you came from in the world, stuff like that, where it's going to be like discrimination or something like that.
This is from the audience?
There are way too many articles about an interracial couple where it's later find out that the white part is saying a racial slur about their child.
I guess all these interracial couples involve a white person, I guess, all these articles. Just putting that out there.
Just to boil it down to like love, it really can't be done.
First of all that, second of all, there's a lot of, sorry to name names, but like a lot of white women who want to get with black men.
Targeting white people a lot, that's crazy.
Men trying to achieve their light-skinned baby who's like just the perfect amount of tan with the perfect amount of curls.
Yeah, like raise your hand if you've heard someone be like, oh my gosh, I would have such gorgeous mixed babies. Like,
I've heard that on multiple occasions. I mean, you probably would have some nice babies. I mean,
boy, if you don't get.
Definitely heard that, and we're all gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, but that's.
Guys, tell me that I'm gorgeous in the comments, please. Someone needs to do it. Someone needs to be the first because it's been so long.
Super problematic to say, one, and two, I'm over here because like there is like no one solution to racism.
Let me make it really clear that a white person having a kid with a black person does not mean that that person does not have racist tendencies or is not discriminatory at all. I love my dad to death, but sometimes he just says things where it's like, you shouldn't be saying that.
Guy's exposing his dad, chill. You know, I can relate to that. I'm not pointing out any names, but you know who you are if you're watching this video. You're probably watching this video. You know who you are. Okay?
That's like, even in like a future, if like America becomes super mixed and like everybody's mixed, if not racism, we'll still have like colorism and different nuances within racism. It's not going to go away just because people are more mixed. Like you can say like mixed people are the future or whatever, but it's not going to solve racism.
I agree with her. It's a wrap, guys. It's a wrap. This video's been going on for quite some time. Generally speaking, I agree with most of them. Some of them I've just either never experienced or actually just disagree. So there you go, guys. Not all multiracial people think the same. Anyways, what do you guys think? You can go ahead and comment down below. If you're what race are you? What's your ethnicity, guys? Leave it down in the comments below. Not that I have many viewers or people who would actually comment, but you know, I need some engagement. It probably help with the algorithm on YouTube. So yeah. Do I look sweet now? Is my interracialness, multiracialness starting to flourish? Beat the jawline, beat the jawline. Come on, it's definitely there. Jeez. Anyways, I'll see you guys some other time. If you have any other videos that I can react to, and I'm not making my channel primarily reaction videos, okay? I'm not doing that. But obviously, because it's these dark times right now, and also I send all my prayers out to everyone, literally everyone, because this virus has clearly got everyone going crazy. Don't panic and don't be scared of it. I mean, be concerned and be smart with how you control, like, dealing yourself, but don't panic, please. Think rationally, please. And stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. That's the rules. It's gonna be really embarrassing when no one leaves anything down in the comments, but if you have anything, do it, because I have nothing better to do. You have nothing better to do. We all have nothing better to do, so let's do something better together.